This is what she secretly feels when you do not chase. And this is the female psychology that has been exposed. What if I told you today that the most powerful thing that you could ever do after she walks away and pulls away is nothing? No chase, no call, no explaining, just silence. Would you have believed that silence, it will haunt her more deeply than the 1,000 desperate messages that you are willing to send, Isaac? And here's the thing. This isn't about playing games. This is about reclaiming power. The kind of power that is rooted in the emotional control, so that it can be so kind, so calm and cold that it burns. This is a story about a man who gave everything, his time, his attention, his energy, his soul, to a woman who never really valued it. She left, he shattered, but instead of crawling back, he sat in that wreckage, and there in that stillness, he built fortress, not actually for revenge, but for rebirth. See, Isaac, women are tuned in energy. The moment you stop chasing and you remove validation, that it goes silent, a strange thing happens. And not about you, Isaac, about herself. Here's the thing. This is what hits her. Why is it that your absence feels heavier than your presence ever felt before? And now, this is why we will dive deeper into the echo of silence itself and how it echoes on her side. When you go silent, Isaac, when you go silent, you do something that most men aren't willing to do. You step away from the bait. You step away from the need to be understood, the need to be validated, or maybe to be chosen. And that silence, Isaac, that silence lands like thunder in her mind. See, most men panic when a woman pulls away. They double text. They write that long paragraph. They even end up pouring out their emotions, hoping that the emotions will get her back. But all that noise, it just confirms her decision. It just confirms that she still has you wrapped around her fingers. But when you don't respond, when you vanish into focus, purpose, quiet strength, that is when everything shifts. And here's the interesting part. At first, she will brush it off. She will act unbothered. She will ignore and act as if she doesn't care. But underneath that exterior facade, a question bubbles. Did he give up? Is he seeing someone? Has he moved on? And that is the uncertainty. And the interesting part is when uncertainty creeps in, curiosity follows. And curiosity, Isaac, curiosity is the gateway to regret. Because this is when she will start to stalk your social media. Have you viewed her status? When was your last seen? Have you watched her stories? Why haven't you reached out? Why aren't you doing what every other guy does? When she walks away and pulls back, why haven't you reached out? Why haven't you begged for another chance? And here's the interesting part, Isaac. She won't admit it, but your silence leaves her exposed, vulnerable. Like she actually miscalculated you because she believed you will be easier to figure out. And now that you are a misery, and mysteries are powerful, miseries are powerful, this is when regrets kicks in. Control, Isaac. Control over others starts with the control of ourselves. And silence is the purest form of that control. Because we all know you are not just ignoring her. You are choosing peace over drama. You are choosing dignity over attention. You are choosing power over impulse. And that, Isaac, that is not weakness. That is command. And this is when your reversal begins. When your lack of reaction becomes the message that she ever received, the loudest message. That is when regret is kicking in. Because here's the thing, Isaac, when a woman feels like she's never the center of your emotional universe, she doesn't feel victorious, she feels lost. Now, let's dive deeper into the mind games. Here's the thing, Isaac. She didn't see it coming. She thought she knew how this would go down. Pull away and you will chase. Go cold and you will apologize. And that is how it works, right? That is what every other guy has done, right? But not you. You didn't chase. You didn't flinch. You didn't even try to explain. You just disappeared. And you just stepped back. You just left her alone with her own thoughts. And this is where the twist is. If you can see it, you just flipped the script. She didn't see it coming, trust me. In the psychological term, we will say you introduced a psychological interrupt. Because on her side, Isaac, she was following a script. This is a script that she had came up with in her mind. Get distant, seek attention. Pull away, get pursued. But your reaction, Isaac, or lack of that, it shatters all that game and all that script.